All right, now you guys doing? We're hopping into the reading of Genesis chapter 51, which may be the last chapter. I don't remember if it's 51 or. Oh no, there is no 51. It's straight in Exodus. We're in Exodus now. So let's get into it. Now, these are the names of the children of Israel which came into Egypt. Every man in his household came with Jacob: Reuben, Simeon, Levi, and Judah, Issachar, Zebulun, and Benjamin, Dan and Naphtali, Gad and Asher. And all the souls that came out of the loins of Jacob were 70 souls, for Joseph was in Egypt already. And Joseph died, and all his brethren, and all that generation. And all the children of Israel were fruitful, and increased abundantly, and multiplied, and waxed exceedingly mighty, and the land was filled with them. Now there arose a new king over Egypt, which knew not Joseph. And he said unto his people, Behold, the people of the children of Israel are more and mightier than we. Come on, let us deal wisely with them, lest they multiply. And it come to pass that where they fallen out of war, of any war, that they join also our enemies and fight against us. So get them up out of the land. Therefore they did set over against them taskmasters to afflict them with burdens, and they built for Pharaoh treasure cities, Pithom and Ramses. But the more they afflicted them, the more they multiplied and grew, and they were grieved because of the children of Israel. And the Egyptians made the children of Israel to serve with rigor, and they made their lives bitter with hard bondage, and mortar and brick, and all the manner of service in the field. All their service wherein they made them serve was with rigor. And the king of Egypt spoke to them and to the Hebrew midwives, of which the name of one of them was Shiphrah, and the name of the other was Puah. And he said, When do the office of a midwife to the Hebrew women, and see them upon the stools, as it be a son, then ye kill them. But if it be a daughter, then she shall live. But the midwives feared God, and did not as the king of Egypt commanded them, but saved the men children alive. And the king of Egypt called for the midwives, and said unto them, What have ye done this thing for? And saved these children that are men alive? And the midwife said unto Pharaoh, Because the Hebrew women are not as the Egyptian women, for they are lively, and they are delivered ere the midwives come into them. Therefore God dwelt with the midwives, and the people multiplied, and waxed very mighty. And it came to pass that when the midwives feared God, he made them houses. And Pharaoh charged all of his people, saying, Every son that is born ye shall cast into the river, every daughter ye shall save. And then we go on to chapter 2, because we got time today. We got time. And there went out a man at the house of Levi, and he took to wife a daughter of Levi. And the woman conceived and bare a son, and when she saw that he was a goodly child, she hid him 3 months. And when she could no longer hide him, she took for him an ark of bulrushes, and daubed it with slime and with pitch, and put the child therein. And she laid it in the flags by the river's brink. And the sister stood afar off to wit what would be done to him. And the daughter of Pharaoh came down to wash herself at the river, and her maidens walked along by the river's side. And when she saw the ark among the flags, she sent her maid to fetch it. And when she had opened it, she saw the child. And behold, the babe wept. And she had compassion on him, and said, This is one of the Hebrews' children. Then she said to the Pharaoh's daughter, Shall I go and call thee a nurse of the Hebrew women, that she may nurse the child for thee? And Pharaoh's daughter said to it, Go. And the maid went and called the child's mother. And Pharaoh's daughter said unto her, Take this child away and nurse it for me, and I will give thee thy wages. And the woman took the child and nursed it. And the child grew, and she brought him unto Pharaoh's daughter, and became her son. And she called his name Moses, she said, Because I drew him out of the water. And it came to pass in those days, when Moses was grown, that he went out unto his brethren, and looked on their burdens. And he spied on an Egyptian smiting a Hebrew, one of his brethren. And he looked this way and that way, and when he saw there was no man, he slew the Egyptian, and hid him in the sand. And he went out on the second day, and behold, two of the men of the Hebrews strove together. And he said to him that did them wrong, Wherefore smitest thou my fellow? And he said, Who made thee a prince and judge over us? Intended thou to kill me, as thou killed the Egyptian? And Moses feared, and said, Surely this thing is known. Now when Pharaoh heard this thing, he sought to slay Moses. But Moses fled from the face of Pharaoh, and dwelt in the land of Midian, and he sat down by a well. Now the priest of Midian had 7 daughters, and they came and drew water, and filled the troughs to water and their father's flock. And the shepherds came down and drove them away. But Moses stood up and helped them, and watered their flock. And when they came to Reuel, their father, and said, How is it that ye are come so soon today? They said, An Egyptian delivered us out of the hand of the shepherds, and drew enough water for us, and watered the flock. And he said unto his daughters, Where is he? Why is it that ye have left the man? Call him that he may eat bread. And Moses was content to dwell with the man, and he gave Moses Zipporah, his daughter. And she bare him a son, and they called his name Gershom. For he said, I have been a stranger in a strange land. And it came to pass in the process of time that the king of Egypt died, and all the children of Israel sighed for the reason of bondage, and they cried. And their cry came up to God by the reason of their bondage, and God heard their groaning, and God remembered his covenant with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And God looked upon the children of Israel, and God had respect unto them. And that'll be all for today. And short video, I know, but I have an event to go to and some plans later. But above all, just get in your word if you can. And that's all. See y'all later. Peace.